My lesson plan is about career exploration and readiness. The time frame or implementation process for this is 7 weeks. One 90-minute class period per week for 7 weeks is 10.5 hours. The first session will be the teacher introducing the module, providing resources to be used throughout the module, going over different computer applications that's available for the students to use, and providing them a timeline of the project. The teacher will assign groups for the students to be in during this time. Students will also have the opportunity to sign into Google Classroom and see the resources available and go ahead and start reviewing the material so they're prepared going forward. Self-assessment. Students will actually complete a self-assessment that will match their skills and talents to the recommended career paths. They will be using U-Science to do this. U-Science, actually, the students answer questions and it matches them up to careers based on their skills and interests. For the SWOT analysis and presentation, students will create a SWOT analysis of their skills and interests in comparison to the career they choose. The platform recommended for this or digital tool is Canva. Canva already has SWOT analysis templates in here for them to use, so it makes it really easy. They can personalize it however they like, which is nice. And then for their presentation, they can use Google Slides or PowerPoint. This actually has a lot of different PowerPoint templates in here already for SWOT, so it makes it really easy for them to use. For the resume research and creation, they can always use Google Docs or Canva to create their resumes, but one of the things that I would recommend that they go to, or at least look at, is Resume Genius. Resume Genius actually walks them through, asks them questions. It presents a template for them, and they're able to change how they want the resume to appear, which is pretty nice for student choice. The next one's mock interviews. Students will participate in mock interviews with peers in round 1 and then with teachers and administration in round 2 to prepare them for employment. During their interviews, they actually will be using iMovie. We actually have class iPads in the room, and so they will record these interviews and actually upload them on Google Classroom so they can do peer feedback, which leads us into the next segment. Students will be provided feedback from their peers that interview them. The same rubric and set of questions are the same that will be used for the second round of interviews with teachers. The interview, of course, is going to be recorded, so they can receive additional feedback from their peers and teachers. This is an example of a Google Doc form. I can post the videos for them. Here's where they can add class comments for feedback to the students. And then the last thing is self-reflection, which will be a summative assignment. Students will record creating a podcast of their reflection of the entire module, reflecting on what they learned about themselves and their suggested pathway. How might or might not a resume be useful when searching for a job, and their communication skills during their interview, and what value they got out of that assignment. I would recommend they use a Google tool, or not a Google tool, but a digital tool such as Anchor. But of course, if they choose a different one, they're more than welcome to use it. And then challenges and opportunities during this. Keeping students on the same pace, that's with any lesson I think teachers have. You've got some working faster than others, so providing them some additional things to do during the process instead of at the end. But I did allow them to move ahead if they wanted. And then grouping students could have been done differently. I randomly chose groups, but that could have been done by their ability as far as digital, how adequate they were using the digital tools. I would have provided an Apple iMovie tutorial to be provided for them to reflect or be reviewed. And then it's always nice to be able to listen to student reflections. It's awesome to see kind of what they want to go into. It provides you an opportunity to talk to them more. And I do a Google form, such as this one right here, to give me feedback on the lesson. So the next time I do it, I can actually look back at their feedback and hopefully better my curriculum and presentation for them. Things that I would improve: I would time my lessons a little bit differently, give time more for one segment than another. And then my early finishers, instead of them doing additional work, I would have them do buddy mentors.